Hi everyone, so this video is going to be about products I regret buying, and this doesn't necessarily mean that I think these are all terrible products and they might work really well for other people, and some of these are even products that I did initially quite like but that now I just think are not really for me, and I've tried different ways of making them work and they just don't really work for me. So I'm going to get started with the makeup-y bits first, and the first couple of things I've got are cheek products, and the first one is by Smashbox, and this is a blusher and bronzer duo in the shade AM to PM. And this is what it looks like. So you've got your kind of peachy blush and then your bronzer side. And they do look really pretty. The blush looks really pretty in the pan. But when you swatch them, they're not overly pigmented. That's the blusher swatch there. It's more of a highlighter shade. It would work if you had very fair skin, but on me it just doesn't really show up at all. So I need something that's got a little bit more pigment than that to kind of liven my face up a little bit. And the bronzer is the same. It's just a very pale colour. But they've got too much of a kind of tone as opposed to like a white or a kind of goldy colour to use as a highlight, because there's just a little bit of that pinkness in there, so it doesn't look very natural, but at the same time not enough to go on your cheeks. So I'm not a massive fan of that. The next one is by Collection 2000, and this is a blush in the shade 04 Trouble. And this is just like a really pretty shimmery pale pink blush, but again the pigmentation of this is not amazing because it's more of a highlighter colour, but it's quite a chunky glittery highlighter. It's not particularly finely milled. You could wear it as just like a highlighter on an evening out or that kind of thing if you wanted something that was a little bit stronger and not as understated as I like my highlighters to be. So that's that one. Then I've got two lipsticks, and surprisingly these are both MAC lipsticks, which is a little bit of a shame because I do generally love MAC lipsticks. But this is the shade Creme de Nude, and this isn't anything about the lipstick specifically. This is just the shade, and this is entirely my fault because I picked this shade and I don't know what I was thinking. Granted, I was a little bit more tanned when I bought it, but it's a kind of very famous nude shade, a true nude with a hint of kind of like a salmony undertone to it. But this looks awful on me. It makes me look like a corpse, and it does very much give you that kind of muted down porn star lip, which I've got a little bit of a love-hate relationship. I'm not sure if I think it looks really nice or if I don't like it, but on me this just doesn't work at all. It's really unflattering, but the formula is lovely. And then another one is MAC's Lollipop Loving, which I think was limited edition. I'm not 100%, but the colour does look really pretty. It's kind of like a corally pink with a kind of undertone of like peachiness, I suppose, and it's got very finely milled glitter in it. The only thing that I don't like about this lipstick is it's a glazed finish, and again this was kind of my fault because I bought this and I didn't realise it was a glazed finish, and I don't like glazed finishes. I just find them really disappointing because I feel like the colours look so enticing and so beautiful, and then you kind of put them on and there's not much going on there, so I'm a little bit disappointed with that, and I don't buy glazed finished lipsticks anymore after this one. Then I've got two eyeshadow type products. The first one is a little palette by Stila, and this is called Marrakesh. And it's just this really cute little palette. It's got a mirror in it. It's got a kind of off pink shade and then like a baby pink, a brown and a gold. Really pretty little shades. Quite easy to wear, quite flattering, but I don't like the fact that they're all shimmery in one shade, and I never ever use this palette. I used it maybe once or twice when I first got it, and that was it. I don't ever use it anymore. Pigmentation of the products is nice, but they're just all shimmery, and I need a palette that's got a mixture of shimmer and matte in it. I just feel like that's a little bit more wearable and a little bit more flattering for me. So I never ever use this, and it's a shame because it is a really pretty little palette, and it's, you know, very travel friendly. Nice packaging. It's a nice product, it just doesn't work for me. And then the next one is one of the Max Factor Smoky Eye Effects eyeshadow, which is basically like a cream eyeshadow but in a kind of pen formula. So you get this side, which is a kind of shimmery gold side, and then you get the dark brown side, and the dark brown side I love. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour, really flattering. But the problem is these crease really, really badly on me. So I think if you do have quite dry skin, or you don't have a problem with eyeshadow creasing on you, you would really like these. The colours are lovely, but on me they just crease like crazy, and I can't be dealing with creased eyeshadow. So I don't like those for that reason, but the colours are nice. Then I've got two mascaras here, and the first one I think I mentioned in kind of like a disappointing products video, not disappointing products video, in a monthly favourites. I mentioned it as like my disappointing product, and this is the Avon Super Extend Extreme Mascara. And I'd heard quite a lot of good things about Avon mascaras, and I got this one, and I really, really just don't like this product at all. It's got a funny brush. It's kind of like quite thick. It's very bristly, but they're thick bristles and they don't catch your lashes properly, and I find it scratches my eyes. I'm kind of working mascara into my lashes and I end up scratching my eyes, and I just really, really don't like that. I don't like what this does to my lashes. I don't like how long it lasts on my lashes, and I just don't like the process of applying this. So I definitely wouldn't buy this again, and I wouldn't recommend this. But I have got quite short eyelashes, so maybe if you've got different types of eyelashes it might work for you. And then another one is one that I can't really make my mind up about. It's the Maybelline Illegal Length Fibre Extensions Mascara, which looks like this. And the reason that I bought this was because it promised to give you super lengthy results, and that was what I wanted. I've got very, very short eyelashes, and I wanted something that could give me a big boost in length. But what happens with this is it does lengthen your lashes quite well, but it ends up kind of separating them and just making them look very natural, which is okay sometimes, but I generally want my lashes to look thick and full and long and lovely, and this doesn't really deliver on that aspect. It kind of makes you look like you haven't got many eyelashes, and that's just not really a look that I particularly like. It does last well, and it is quite easy to apply, and the brush is a nice shaped brush. It's kind of a fibre bristly brush, but it's got quite a lot of bristles on it, so it is a nice brush. It just really doesn't do anything for my lashes, and a couple of people that have used this have said that they didn't feel like it did anything for them either. So that's that. Then I've got two kind of skin related base products. The first one is a concealer, and this is the Oon Skin Eco Concealer. And when I first got this, I really liked it, and then I realised that it was doing something weird to my makeup. And what happens is it's got one of those little brush applicators, which I'm not really a fan of, but it's got one of those applicators, and anywhere you'd put it, it would just kind of make your makeup go really cakey, and it would just kind of let the oil in your skin eat away at that makeup a lot quicker than it normally would. So it became kind of, it would make your makeup just go really patchy all over your face and anywhere you'd put this, and it just, I don't know, it was nice at first and then it sort of reacted weirdly to my skin. So again, it could just be my skin that's doing this, but it doesn't really do much for me. And the colour is a little bit weird as well, I find, but that might just be because I'm a lot paler now, so it didn't work for me. And then the last makeup related item is a foundation, and this is the Miss Sporty So Matte foundation, and this is in shade 02, which is medium. And I bought this because I wanted a light foundation to mix in with another foundation that I had, but this on its own is one of the worst foundations I've ever used. I know it was really cheap, it was only about £2-3, so what did I expect? I do think you get what you pay for when it comes to foundations, but it was just not for me at all. It looked really pale and really powdery, and it just sat in your pores and sat on top of your skin. You couldn't blend it. The consistency is really liquid. It just really, really did not work for me at all. Then I'm going to move on to some kind of facial skincare and body care, and I've got one hair item as well. The first thing is a razor, and I think I mentioned this in my favourites video as a disappointing product, but I'm going to just give it a quick mention. This is the Venus Breeze razor with the detachable soap bits. I really dislike this razor. It doesn't give you a really close shave. The soap bits aren't really soapy. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it just kind of feels like you're shaving with spit. It's really weird, and I much prefer the razor heads that have just got a normal you know, non-soapy effect, so won't be buying that again. And then for facial skincare, this is a product that I'm in two minds about. Sometimes I do really like it, and then other times I don't, but I think it's just because what I wanted it for, it doesn't really do. And this is the Nip and Fab Clean Fix Oil, and this is an oil cleanser. And it's a really thick, lovely consistency. It feels really nice on the skin. But my two issues with it are, I wanted it to remove my makeup with, and while it's great at removing face makeup, when it comes to eye makeup, it really irritates my eyes, which is really unusual because I haven't got very sensitive eyes at all, but this seems to really irritate them and make them feel really itchy and dry. So I kind of have stopped using it for that, and I just use it for my face. But they claim that it kind of, once you bring it into contact with water, it'll turn into a rich kind of milk, and it doesn't. It's a very thin, just a very kind of thin, sheer liquid. It doesn't really turn into luxurious milk, which is what I kind of wanted it for. So I will use this up. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't buy it again, and it didn't do what I needed it to do, which was remove my makeup really well. Then for body products, I've got a body lotion here, and this is the Beals and Harding Sweet Mandarin and Grapefruit Body Lotion. And the reason I don't like this is A, the scent. It just doesn't smell like mandarin or anything really. It just smells like a body lotion. It doesn't smell like grapefruit. It's just got a kind of standard body lotion scent. It smells very much like the kind of freebies you get in hotels, and it's very runny. If you can see here, it's just kind of like a liquid, and when you rub it into your skin, it doesn't feel really moisturising. It just kind of sits on your skin and doesn't particularly moisturise. I don't think the quality of the ingredients are that amazing considering how it feels, and you can see it's just very liquid. So I don't really like that. And last but not least is a hair product, and this is the Tresemme Moisture Rich Shampoo. I don't normally buy Tresemme because I used them years ago and they didn't really do much for my hair, and I've just kind of stuck to that, and I don't tend to buy them very often. But I was out of shampoo, and I asked my boyfriend to pick some shampoo up. I told him what shampoo I wanted, and then he came back with this and said he couldn't find it, so he just got that one. So I was like, oh, okay then. I used it because it's a massive bottle. It's 900 mils. So I used it, and I just really don't like this. It feels very silicone based. It leaves your hair feeling kind of a little bit coated and not particularly clean. I know that a lot of people really like Tresemme and they love some of their products, but every time I've ever used any of their shampoos or conditioners, I've just really not liked them. I don't mind their kind of deep conditioners, their hair masks. They're okay, but shampoos and conditioners I just feel are really silicone based, and they just leave my scalp a little bit itchy, and they just don't really work for me. But that being said, I don't want this video to be perceived as like a negative video, because as much as favourites videos are great, sometimes it's nice to know products that didn't work for someone because they might not work for you too, and I think it's nice to just get that little bit of info out there. So if any of you have tried any of these products and you've got ways of making them work, or you love them, then definitely let me know. I'd love to know how you go on with them. And if you've got any products that you really dislike and you think I should stay clear of, then don't hesitate to put those in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.